Hi guys, my name is Adam and today we'll be discussing if football is becoming
Boring!
Dad, we can't see the movie.
I can't believe we're paying to see something we get on TV for free. If you ask me, everybody in this theater is a giant sucker. It's
boring. Obviously the last maybe 20 years, but mainly in the last 4 years we've seen a decline in football quality in my opinion, and I'll be discussing all the ways that we can maybe improve it. I'll explain the ways and why this has happened over the last due course. If you do enjoy this video, remember to smash that subscribe button, as we're only 4 away from 200. It would be very much appreciated, and if you're enjoying the content, just let me know. And if you're not, give me some feedback and I'll take it on and I'll try and improve the channel as it goes. But let's get in. So let's talk about this. Obviously, as I mentioned, over the last couple of years, this has kind of got a lot worse. And it's not, this stat I'm about to mention has not got much worse. It's actually around about the same, if not better. It is in ball playtime, which is the amount of minutes the ball is in play on the park when people are passing it about, kicking it about, maybe even the goalie's in possession. It is only 55 minutes. So 35 minutes of the game, it is not even on the park.
What decision are we talking about?
Okay,
So, let's not take the piss here.
I certainly wasn't.
Well, I think you are.
So that kind of puts into context how bad football is kind of went downhill. It's not even went downhill, it's just the way the game, that's not the way why people pay money. And that, I think this is a big thing I'm trying to elaborate on. People go to football matches to see action, and if that's only happening 55 minutes out of the 90, you understand why people are maybe choosing other sports, or they're just falling off their love from football at their early ages. Because obviously kids want to be entertained, teens want to be entertained, adults want to get away from life, go to a football match, enjoy it. And I think this is a big factor. Back in the day, I'm talking about the 80s, maybe the 70s, a lot of more risks were taken, but the pitches were worse. So back then there was maybe an excuse for having pitches that are maybe, having less ball time in the game. But now there's not much excuses, and the fact is, this might be a lot lower. This might have actually got better, but then the introduction of VAR has disimproved it. What I mean by that is, because VAR, some decisions take 3 minutes to maybe even 9 minutes. And if you add, that's obviously taking out the game. So maybe even 9 minutes of the 55 minutes, which is the average, by the way, would be, so that means it's actually in play for 64 minutes. Obviously corners take a minute, and that's out the pitch. Substitutions take a minute, but it's like hoofing out the park, hitting the other defender. It is starting to become a bit stale. So the begs the question, why is football boring? Well, that is it. You've got VAR decisions that are maybe taking too much time there. But is that a VAR issue, or is that a refereeing issue? So that's the big thing that we need to kind of determine here, and that's what we will be determining. I personally think it's the people using it. VAR is a good concept. It has especially helped some referees, but I feel like we're overusing it. I mean, IFAB and FIFA have released new rules for the World Cup. So now they can overturn a second yellow, which is quite good in the grand scheme of things, but they're going to be reviewing free kicks and not just penalties now, so that might even make this a lot worse. So, but what ways could we make this kind of better? That's the kind of the big question. How could we find ways to make games last longer and to ensure more entertainment and more like on the ball action? Well, firstly, make it kick-ins rather than throw-ins, because then that would mean people wouldn't be like mandatory, like using throw-ins as a way, like try to get the ball out to the corners to then go in a throw-in to then chuck it in the box. They know they're going to get a kick in, but they can still, well, I mean, if they keep it in the park, they can put a cross in, and that would save that maybe 30 seconds to a minute of taking that throw-in, or, well, it would be taking a kick in. But I think kick-ins would help introduce this. Another way of maybe preventing this is, well, VAR. There should be a time limit on VAR. Personally, I think there should be a time limit on VAR. It might help the referees, but then there's obviously a negative to this. Referees might be like, we don't have enough time to make a decision, make the wrong decision, everybody moans about it on Twitter. So there's a fine line here and try to find ways that we can improve this. Obviously, it's just a lot of football has changed the tactical, so that might be why it has gone up. The ball time has went up, and it's less hoofing it up the park. Because if you look at maybe the average ball time in the League 2 and League 1, it'll be very low compared to the Premier League, because they're less tactically initiative. Like they don't have, most of the clubs just hope they get a win and for the best, obviously. But there's so many ways they could like improve this, and it's starting to become like you look at games down in England. I'm going to use England for example. Arsenal are a big topic of this because they are deliberately trying to get corners so they can get goals. And literally, I think, is it Roy Rudhullet said this the other day, I don't even watch football anymore. And then he stated the Arsenal and Chelsea game, because it was corners. It's like, corners, yes, they're an amazing thing, obviously should be in football, but it doesn't feel like clubs are trying to play football anymore, like actually enjoyable stuff. The only club I have seen try to play really good football in my life is Barcelona and Motherwell, and PSG last year. What a team. But there's like, the whole point in football is to take risks. If we're just accepting that these players can just pass the ball about, not even try and score, not like they're crowd reactive. I mean, two clubs I can name are crowd reactive as Rangers and Celtic. If the crowd see you giving the ball away, they're going to react. But the problem with that is the players aren't going to take the risk. So that is a big issue in the sense of big clubs. So they feel like they need to be more tactically aware. But I think kick-ins would be a great idea, but and maybe a VAR time limit, because that means you could get more ball time, more chances to score, etc, etc. But what do you think, guys? Obviously that's my first video in a wee bit, but what do you think, guys, about what ways could you think that we could improve ball time, like ball and play time? So that's, as I stated before, that's the time where the ball is actually on the park, getting passed about, maybe even get hoofed up the park. It's not out with the bounds of play. So if you did enjoy this video, guys, remember to smash that like button, leave a subscription, and let's get to 200, guys. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.